What's up guys, my name's HeR and I'm once again resurfacing for a brief moment. Today I want to talk about something I've been keeping what I consider to be pretty close tabs on. As I'm sure many HeR Interactive fans are aware, there was an announcement made by HeR back on October 21st. This newsletter featured what they called an important update to our e-commerce platform. It reads, "Dear Nancy Drew fans, our online store will transition to Digital River's MyCommerce platform on Monday, November 18th, 2024. This updated platform will deliver a streamlined, more consistent online store experience for purchasing our games or other digital products. During and after this transition, HeR Interactive's customer service team will be your first line of support for general questions, past purchase inquiries, and issues regarding your order. With any change, the transition will have some hiccups, but we are doing everything we can to communicate all important information consistently and frequently with you. As always, we are incredibly grateful to all of you for being such loyal customers. We want to assure you that we are focused on making this new store the best place to buy Nancy Drew games and all other digital products currently in our store and into the future." So, in short, HeR Interactive sadly isn't stepping away from Digital River, rather transitioning to another platform that Digital River has to offer. They tell fans that they do not need to do anything if they have downloaded and saved all their digital versions of Nancy Drew games or other digital products. If they're unsure on whether or not they need to do anything, the rest of the post explains how they might be impacted. I'm going to try and sum things up as much as possible here. Essentially, the transition is happening on November 18th, which is 3 days from recording this video. When the transition happens, you will lose complete access to your Digital River account and need to create a new one. This means that if you want to back up any of your previous orders made within the last 5 years, you need to send a proof of purchase to HeR Interactive's customer support email so that they can enable you to re-download your orders. HeR Interactive has also included a link to a full FAQ page on the store transition, which I've linked in the description of this video. Now, there are some interesting things that aren't highlighted as much as I feel they should. Once this transition happens, the HeR Interactive store should continue to operate pretty much as normal. And by as normal, I mean you'll still only have 30 days to download the installer to your game before the download expires. I still think this is such a ridiculous way of doing things, however I don't believe that HeR has any control over this feature. It's another reason why they need to ditch Digital River and find a new e-commerce platform that better suits their needs. As I've wondered for years, and I know many others have, there is actually a reason why HeR Interactive went with Digital River in the first place and stuck with them for so long. According to Kalina Herman of Story Retold, Digital River was one of the only platforms at the time to offer a way for customers to purchase both physical and digital copies of their games. The initial transition was made in the early 2010s and was a bit of a jarring transition from their previous online store. Initially, it seemed like a great business decision. Internally, it may have continued to be so for a while. From a customer standpoint, however, it offered more headaches than anticipated. I've discussed it several times in the past, so I won't talk about the many grievances that fans have experienced, but I'll say that HeR Interactive officially needs to cut ties with Digital River. When HeR Interactive made this announcement, there was almost immediately some disturbing uncoverings that were made about Digital River. Turns out, they're actually in a very dire state. They haven't been paying royalties and earnings to their customers, in this case HeR Interactive, since July of 2024. July. We're halfway through November. All the Mystery of the Seven Keys physical pre-orders were charged in September to customers' credit cards. That means that HeR Interactive most likely hasn't been paid a penny for a single copy. I'm not sure how many pre-orders there were, but I wouldn't be surprised if the number was in the quadruple digits. And at $32 a piece, that's a lot of money to be lost. In response to this nasty bit of news, HeR Interactive actually made some pretty crazy moves. Initially, they completely removed the ability to purchase any games, digital or physical, from their website. Instead, they pointed fans towards Steam for any and all purchases of the games that were available on Steam. A couple days later, they slightly reversed that change and re-linked the buttons to purchase the games from Digital River again. The button to purchase games from Steam still exists, but there are still some items that are unavailable for purchase on HeR Interactive's website. The complete list of unavailable items is as follows and excludes all items that have naturally run out of stock. Nancy Drew, Stay Tuned for Danger. All foreign language versions of Curse of Blackmore Manor, Secret of the Old Clock, The Creature of Kapu Cave, The White Wolf of Icicle Creek, Legend of the Crystal Skull, and The Phantom of Venice. Nancy Drew Diaries Books 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14, the official strategy guide for Odyssey by the Young Socratics, volumes 1 through 5 of Music for Mysteries, the soundtrack for Odyssey, and all the Nancy Drew game bundles. All the other Nancy Drew soundtracks for games 26 to 32 are still available, as they're also available on Steam. All the strategy guides are still also available. However, as of October 23, 2024, they're now available as free downloads from HeR Interactive's site. I'm not sure if this is something that will continue or if HeR Interactive will put the $10 price tag back on them once the transition happens. Regardless, I'm sure they weren't making any money off of them since they started offering them as a free extra with each game purchase back in 2012. If you're a collector like myself and wanted to snag the PDFs of any strategy guide to round off your collection, now is the time to do so. Also, you can still purchase physical copies of Midnight in Salem for a grand total of $1 plus shipping, which, if you live in the United States, will end up costing even less than the normal retail price of the game. This is a great time to stock up. They made the price that low so they can lose the least amount of money possible, despite having spent so much money on getting the physical copies printed back in 2020. The final change they made was by changing the prices of most of the Steam versions of the games to their normal retail prices to try and account for the losses from their website. HeR Interactive's Teespring merch store is still up and running without issue. It most likely won't close until HeR Interactive officially goes under, which probably won't happen for a while. Anyways, I'm sure some are wondering what the future looks like. To my knowledge, HeR Interactive is still planning to transition to MyCommerce on November 18th, so until then, I encourage you to download any records you want to keep or take screenshots, or tell HeR Interactive you want to re-download your past purchases ASAP. I'm not sure how things will look once this change happens, but I'd still save as much data from your account as you need to before then. I really do hope that HeR Interactive can sort things out on their end and get the compensation for all the products that they never earn money for. I'd hate to see something terrible happen to them because their digital storefront host had the financial sense of an orange. What are your thoughts on this transition? Do you have any questions or worries about things going forward? To me, it's very clear that HeR Interactive is trying to deter people from purchasing from their website for the time being. So I would encourage all new purchasers of the games to go to a platform like Steam or Big Fish Games and buy your games there in order to give HeR Interactive proper financial compensation. I hope HeR can leave Digital River soon and find something that works the best for them. That about wraps up everything for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day.